Well, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. Yes, indeed, a brand new day filled with hope and promise and dreams and nightmares and etc., etc. I mean, everything life is filled with. Yay! For the Shelton, Washington weather report, it started snowing yesterday. By gum and by golly, it snowed all day, off and on. Not constantly, but almost. And then I went out walking. It's about 7 o'clock. Oh boy. It had been coming down mildly most of the day. When I went out walking, there was a wind. So some of the flakes during the time were small, some of them were larger, but oh boy. When I walk around downtown Shelton, it's about anywhere 2 to 3 miles. If I don't walk to Walmart, which is a 6-mile round trip, 3 miles there, 3 miles back, then just walking 2 or 3 miles in town isn't quite far enough. So what I like to do is from where I live in southern Shelton, I make a loop up to the major road that comes down into downtown Shelton, Olympic Highway, and that loop that I walk up to get to it, and then on the way just down it, that adds like another mile onto the trip. Because I walk at about 3 miles an hour, if I push it anywhere between 3 and 4, which is 20 miles per minute. And if I walk that loop and then around in town and come home, it takes a little less than an hour and a half. So that's about another mile. So it's 3-4 miles on a downtown walk. I hadn't even gotten a quarter of the way to Olympic Highway from southern Shelton before I was thoroughly regretting my decision. Oh, that wind was something. It was constantly trying to tear my umbrella out of my hand because I don't have a hoodie or anything like that. I wear my light summer jacket and maybe a shirt. I have a plaid shirt I wear as a jacket, and I'll wear that and then put the summer jacket over the top of it, because if I wear anything heavier, I just sweat too much. And in fact, I frequently have to roll up my summer jacket sleeves while it's out with snow and ice, because I just warm up too much, and I have to have skin open to the air or I'm going to burn up. I just sweat to death. So, yay. And whoa. It was rough. That was a weird noise. Woof. It was rough. It was rough. I was beating myself up while laughing and enjoying myself entirely, because I like walking in bad weather, and I don't know why. The worse the weather outside, the more terrible it is. The colder, the damper, the more likely I'm like, yeah, I need to get out there. I need to get out there. It's not a conscious thing either. It is a subconscious thing. I just get more antsy, and I need to go on walkies more when it gets nasty out there. So I was laughing and thanking the weather for making it a pleasurable walk. This hand, because of I had severed the radial nerve on my arm, so my hand was paralyzed for like almost 2 years. And then it started to come back slowly, because nerves do regrow. Not spinal nerves, unfortunately, but your peripheral nerves, they do regrow, and so that nerve healed. There's still scar tissue, so it doesn't work as well as it should. If I'm not thinking about it, it's basically just a club with moving tendrils. And it hurts, and it just never feels right. And so that was really hurting because of the weather. And if I had had a good glove, yeah, I would have made the walk up to Walmart and back. Just because the weather was terrible. And it was trying to rip the umbrella out of my hand because of the wind. Thumbs up. It was fun. If it doesn't snow too much today or such, I hope to take the camera out show people what it looks like with the snow out in this area again. It's been a couple years since I've done a walkies video in snow, so who knows? I might be able to, might not, it's hard to say. And a couple years back now, somebody had sent me as a gift off Amazon a pair of hiking boots. And so they've lasted quite a bit because I only wear the hiking boots when the weather is bad so that they last, which is only at most 2 months out of the year. And I don't wear them all day. I just put them on to go out into the bad weather and then come home and then take them off. So they've lasted, and hopefully they will continue to last. Like most things, though, there is wear and tear on the inside of shoes from the friction. Even on the boots, it's been ripping and tearing at the inside lining. Well, rather than just let it come apart entirely and destroy everything, just like in the shoes I wear daily, I have discovered that if I just put a strip of duct tape in there, running from the part I walk on up the damaged part and then outside to hold on there, I'm rubbing my foot on the duct tape and not doing damage to the actual fabric of the lining. Duct tape for the win. It can do almost anything. I am a big fan of jerry-rigging, and though it's terrible, it's also, if it's a minor thing, then go for the gusto. You know, who cares what it looks like as long as it works? That's the important part. So, if it's minor, go for the gusto. If it's something like, work on a house or electrical, that was a weird way to say it, electrical work or plumbing, don't DIY it. I have read so many horror stories of professional people that have come in after someone has DIY'd it without being even an amateur at it, and they're just amazed the house is standing. It didn't burn down or rot because of flooding and worse. Then these are things that it would have happened. They just happened to get in there before the disaster. So, unless you really know what you're doing and you got the equipment for it, minor things, go for the gusto. Who cares what it looks like as long as it works, as long as it's safe. That's why I say minor things. And also, as a quick aside, I have decided on a name for my little hamster here, and it's going to be just because of his behaviors. It's not a fun name. Excuse me. But he doesn't care what his name is. He's just Ghost because he's a ghost hamster. I see him a little bit before I go to bed, and if I make it in here in time, I see him in the morning. Past that, I'll just occasionally hear him drink and then realize that he's up. He's awake and running around. Good Lord. He's awake and running around during the time that I'm asleep because hamsters are mostly awake at dusk, dawn, and middle of the night. They are primarily nocturnal and such like that. So he's really that way. Other hamsters I've had have been, it's hard to say. I mean, individuals are individuals and hamsters are individuals. I've had some hamsters that it didn't matter what time of the day it was. If they wanted to get up and do stuff, they got up and they did stuff. And then some hamsters, like little Ghost here, who's only up and about when it's dusk and dawn. He's a little bit more extreme about it than the other hamsters I've had, but it's still within that behavior. So I saw him this morning, and I picked him up and held him, let him run around, and then put him back inside. And last night I did the same. He was up and running around, so I just picked him up and let him run around. He is getting to know my smell, because one of the things that I do is I will just put my arm in there and place my hand on the bedding, let him come up and sniff it, and then when he walks away, because I'm not doing anything, I'm just holding my hand there as he sniffs, I just take it back out, just to show that my smell does not necessarily mean anything bad is going to happen. It's just my smell. And so it works. I can put my hand in there, and as long as I'm not coming down predator-like at him, he doesn't freak out too much. He's getting better at it every time. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Yay. Good golly, Miss Molly. It's cannabis use this morning. I smoked a pre-roll, and then I started recording, and so my voice box is still irate at the smoke and the heat, and so, yeah, my sincere apologies. I didn't sleep great last night, and I was awake and tossing and turning from like 4 o'clock on, and then when I got up at 5:30 finally, I had so much to do that I wouldn't say late, but normally I have like an hour and a half to wake up before I start recording. I had like time to sit down and smoke a pre-roll and such like that. It's not a whole lot of time. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, I'm going to talk about this on a video game topic. The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2. Because on The Last of Us, I can't really play the game because the people that make the game did such a good job on the writing that I hate the character Joel. I hate the character Joel. I can understand why the character acted as the character did. I don't think I would have done that. And because of that, a sheer emotional reaction, I don't like Joel. Now, actually hate, and in fact I was kind of glad when he got his head staved in The Last of Us 2. It could be partial misunderstanding. I don't know if it is game canon or somebody's head canon that, what is her name? Ellie? Ellie dying at the hands of the Fireflies at the end would have been inevitable and done nothing because they were not enough people and not enough knowledge to be able to do what they were trying to do, and so they would have just killed her and not done anything while doing that. I'm trying not to ruin the game with too many spoilers if you don't know the game, but when Joel says no and kills them all and takes Ellie away, and then when she wakes up he lies about what he did because of my understanding that they were just trying to do this, and yes, she will die, but if we don't, then everybody will. My reaction to that is you don't get to decide for everybody. And I talked a little bit about this before on being on both sides and understanding both sides, because it really comes down to, it really sums it up with a movie that I really like but kind of hate the ending. I understand it, but it's done well enough that I hate the people that make the decision. Because in that movie, real quick summary and thing, it is a movie where people are, being taken out in like regular, slaughter movie types, and we find out that there are organizations around the world that have to appease the old gods with blood sacrifices, and if they don't, the old gods will rise up and in their reign of terror eventually destroy every human being on the face of the planet. So it sucks that they have to do this, but it's better than the entire human race being destroyed. And at the end of the movie, the two people who could sacrifice themselves and save the entire human race just say, nah. And they decide for everybody on the planet that they should die. 2 versus 7 billion. And so at the end of the movie, it starts and everybody's going to die. I can understand it from their viewpoint. I don't want to die. I'm not going to give it up. But on the other hand, it's just the two of you. I'm sorry you don't want to go, but there's 7 billion of us that don't want to die. So when they make that selfish decision, I hate them for that. When Joel makes this selfish decision, I hate him for that. Again, it could be a misunderstanding that if his game canon that it was just going to be her dying, but I don't know. I'm emotionally invested in Joel having his head staved in. What can I say? And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, he said, slurring everything together into one long... And I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. I can't remember most of my schmeal. Schmeal? I can't even talk now. Most of my spiel. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. I'm going to read them all later. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow me to do. And if I mispronounce a username, did I say this part? No disrespect is intended? Yeah, I did, didn't I? I'm repeating myself. And of course, with my depression, fibro, ADHD, and more, so here we go. Since I have no idea what I've said and what I haven't. So, Michal, I do not know how to pronounce that properly. So, thumbs up and thank you. Russian timing, good to see you in the comments, my friend. Christopher Thomas, thumbs up and thank you. Lee, greatly appreciated. Too much time. Oh, there's never too much time. Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. Charlie Richardson, thumbs up. Use Nerd, it's good to see you in the comments. Always miss people when they're gone. Iced Wizzy, thumbs up and thank you. Simon Temshi, greatly appreciated. Melissa R. I love caffeine. I hate the taste of coffee personally. I understand why people like it. It's just a personal thing. It means nothing other than my taste buds and my brain don't like the taste. Kapaki, thumbs up and thank you. Adrian Bryan, who is in very bad shape. Check out the comments in his channel and you'll find out why it's not good. They need all the help they can get. Nick David, greatly appreciated, and I'll try to answer that. Billie Eilish Edits, thumbs up. We have Kaiju Mobster, I like the name. Ricky Bettini, thumbs up and thank you. Potato Tron, as soon as I can. Jamie's Division, it's good seeing you in the comments again. Thumbs up. And then we have Nicole Moses, not Nicholas Moses. Goodness gracious. My eyes, my brain. And Apollo R6, thumbs up. Sierra Tapper, greatly appreciated. Ice Damon, greatly appreciated. Anime Fan, thumbs up. And do we have anyone else? No. 24 people, thumbs up and thank you all so very much. You get me out of my head into the world dealing with real people, if only in text. Greatly appreciated. A very good day. Hope you smoke. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out financially without it, do the patronage. I have the PayPal link down below if you'd like to help me out financially without sending money at all. That didn't even work out well. Oh my God, I can't talk. I have an Amazon wish list link as well down below. That would be very cool if you could check it out. It has things like cat food, hamster bedding, silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that'd be very cool. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if I've forgotten where I am again. I can't even remember what I just said. So let's just take it as given that I've said everything that I was supposed to, because I have no idea what else is going on. So before I forget everything else, the lobster hat wearing duckhead of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. It is ready, not eager, but ready, to cast that scorn upon any and all whom it finds disappointing, and its mockery is severe. Do not disappoint the lobster hat-wearing duckhead of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Good golly, Miss Molly. Good golly, Miss Molly. And please stay as safe and creative as you can during these hard times. Some countries have it much, much worse than others. But we're not the worst, and it's bad in a lot of places. So be safe, be careful. So, I can't remember what else I'd say. Other than, please, wear a mask, wash your hands, practice your social distancing, and try not to go out if you have to. Unless you have to. I can't talk English today. My sincere apologies. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.